Hey, what's up you guys? If you feel like your chest isn't growing, it's not your genetics, you're probably just missing this. As a naturally skinny girl, I used to think it all boiled down to genetics, but in all actuality, I wasn't doing the key things that actually make your chest grow. You can do all of the workouts in the world, but your chest won't grow unless you're implementing eating at a caloric surplus, mind to muscle connection, and upper body specific workouts. So in this video, I'm breaking down how you can fuel chest growth without feeling overwhelmed. Oh yeah, at the kind of end of this video, I will be releasing a little bit of my secret with how to actually eat at a caloric surplus, because it can be hard to introduce more calories into your diet randomly. So yeah, stay tuned for that secret if that is something that you are interested in and you struggle with. If you feel like you've been stuck and not seeing changes, this video is for you. All right, so getting right into it, the first key concept I want to talk about is skipping upper body workouts. I was a huge offender of this when I first started working out. I would only do lower body workouts and then I would go run on upper body designated days. So I would skip any type of back or chest workouts. The one major key player in building my chest was actually building pec muscles. So I know this sounds kind of weird for a girl to focus on chest exercises, but trust me when I say this will help you with that naturally lifted look. Like if you want the look of a boob job almost, this will give you that. Your chest will sit nicely without needing really much support. So that is tip number one. So going into that, I'm gonna show you guys a couple workouts that I feel like really helped me with growing my chest. Now, that being said, I only do chest once a week. If you want to implement it more, I would say twice a week is probably the best, because you also want to make sure that you're still doing back workouts, leg workouts, just to maintain a balance throughout your schedule. Going off of that, here are the workouts. Alright, so the next thing I wanted to dive into was creatine, and specifically what creatine did for me. So at first I was a bit hesitant to start taking creatine because I didn't know too much about it. But I did read that it can aid with muscle recovery, so that alone interested me because I'm always known to be super sore after every single workout. So I began taking creatine, and immediately I noticed that my muscles definitely weren't as sore after workout. And then the other thing I noticed, which is kind of a negative, but was a bit of bloating, and this is just from an increase of water weight when you do take creatine. So be forewarned, although it's honestly such a small, minute con. The other positive that I did notice from creatine kind of later down the line was muscle growth way quicker than what it would naturally be. And this is, like I said, because it is helping with that muscle recovery. So going off of that, I would definitely recommend taking creatine, and I even have a discount code in my description below through Prozis if you are interested. So make sure to take advantage of that. On top of creatine, another thing that really helped me see muscle growth pretty quickly was implementing mind to muscle connection. Now, I know it sounds kind of like woo-woo, but it makes sense when you think about it. So I think in today's day and age, people can kind of understand what manifesting is and how to do so. So think of it as manifesting your muscle growth. And so for example, when you're doing chest press, you want to think about the part of your chest that you are mainly targeting. And honestly, I feel like this has helped me really target muscle growth in specific areas, mainly chest and glutes. And honestly, back too, although back day, I do have to say it's a little bit harder to get that mind to muscle connection. But yeah, going off of that, mind to muscle connection is so key with growing any muscle group, but especially muscles that you don't normally work out. So in my case, it was chest and back. Doing a little bit of research before you do the workout itself and seeing which muscle group you are targeting, so then you can actively think about that muscle as you are completing the workout. All right, so getting into eating at a caloric surplus. This is so important. This is one of the key pillars in growing growing your hourglass shape and growing your chest and growing your glutes, eating at a caloric surplus is a must if you are a skinny girl that needs to gain weight. What I would suggest is starting out by eating approximately 200 to 300 calories more daily. Although I am not a nutritionist, please consult with your nutritionist. That being said, I didn't start noticing my hourglass figure really forming and my chest becoming fuller until I began eating way more. For example, now I eat about 6-ish smaller meals a day. It's super hard for me to sit down and eat an entire meal in one go. I don't know why, I've always struggled with it. So what I found for me, it's easier to break each big meal into 2 smaller meals. So I'll have 2 breakfasts, 2 lunch, and then kind of 2-ish dinner. Basically, honestly, 1 dinner, and then I'll probably have dessert afterward, if we're being honest. A day in my life of what I eat, I'll eat this, oh my God, it's so good. I've been eating this chocolate chip cheesecake parfait literally every morning. It's about 15 grams of protein, but I'll start out eating that. And then about 2 hours, an hour and a half later, I'll eat 2 eggs and some toast. And then I'm pretty hungry like about 2 hours after that. So then I'll have whatever I meal prepped for lunch. And then shortly after I eat that lunch, it's time for the gym. So then I'll go work out. Once I get back from the gym, this is kind of when I'll have like a little bit of pre-dinner. So it's usually just like a salmon fillet or any leftovers that we have from earlier that week. And I'll also have a protein shake where I mix my protein powder and my creatine, which I'll link down below. And then afterward, after like 2-ish hours, then we'll sit down and eat dinner. And yeah, that's kind of my eating schedule. But I know that sounds like a lot and it sounds kind of daunting. So I wanted to share, like I promised with you guys earlier, I want to share a secret with how I first began introducing more calories and more food into my diet, because trust me, I felt sick just thinking about eating more when I severely struggled with even like eating 3 meals a day. So the first thing I would recommend is either investing in a mass gainer, which can be kind of expensive, I'm not gonna lie. Or you can get Ensures, which are those like protein drinks. They're kind of like milkshakes. It's a mass gainer. A lot of young kids will be prescribed it by their pediatricians. I think old people also will drink it. So yeah, also that, but taking that with your meal, not as a meal replacement, but drinking it alongside your meal is a sneaky way to get those extra calories in without really feeling it in your stomach and you're gonna feel queasy and sick. No, this is a good way to get that in. So I would suggest first introducing it with 1 meal a day. I would either say breakfast or dinner just to get it out of the way. And then you can slowly increase it. So yeah, that is like my little word of advice, something that really helped me. I would say the first year I really implemented those shakes, drinking them with different meals. I think I saw one girl was drinking shakes with like 3 meals a day, and I never got to that level because I just could not do it. But yeah, this really helped me meet my calorie goals and gain the extra weight. I know that was a lot, but in conclusion, it is completely possible for you to grow your chest. It's not just genetics. It boils down to a couple key points. The first one is eating at a caloric surplus. You need to make sure you're eating at least 200 to 300 calories extra a day to even see some type of weight gain. That being said, if you want to gain the weight strategically, you want to make sure you're implementing chest day at least once a week, if not twice. And you want to make sure that you're implementing the workouts that I showed. And I will also link a video down below with a full length chest workout. I have a couple on my YouTube that you can follow. If you don't have access to a gym, you can do it from home as well. But this will help you really establish that mind to muscle connection so you can grow your chest. Thank you guys for joining in on this video. And if you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a big like and comment hourglass if you enjoyed today's video. And I will see you guys on Tuesday. Ciao.